Afroforum, ladies and gentlemen, they are exposing ANC mission to expropriation without compensation. That's what actually they are going to do, exposing the ANC of trying to expropriate land without compensation. That's what they say in this video. Now, we are going to react on this video right now. Obviously, he's got papers, he's got everything in there. I'm just going to listen, and where I want to say my piece, I will say it. But mostly, I want to hear what they say. Because remember, we all know what happened, okay? They spoke whatever they spoke, which I think that interview, to be honest with you, they were not supposed to do it. Because the way they did it, it was very bad, okay? Because now they come up on the channel and then they come up and explain. I don't know. I think they are going to explain maybe, and perhaps after that they will actually and tell us what is that thing that they're exposing. Okay. Anyway, let's get into the video and let's just enjoy, guys. Please, while you do that, can you just do me a favor, people? I don't like asking people to like. Okay. But it seems like people, they don't like the videos. I don't know why. Maybe you don't like the content, it's fine, okay? But please, guys, supporting Yama likes, just to clicky like, Buffett. I know I'm not famous, I know I don't have like, how many, 50 subscribers. I know I don't have 20 subscribers, but guys, please, just a like. Come on, people, come on now, okay? Anyway, let's get to it.
Regards to what was said when it comes to the Expropriation Act by the ANC itself, because this week the chickens came home to roost. This week the ANC's extremist policies and extremist rhetoric backfired on them because the world took notice. And what we've seen in the past 72 hours, 48 hours, has been a remarkable softening of the rhetoric regarding expropriation without compensation from the ANC, and a desperate attempt to rewrite history from their propaganda machine. And unfortunately today, even in its weakened state, the ANC still has power over a very strong propaganda machine. When it comes to the history and the timeline, I'd first like to take you back to 2018. In 2018, the South African government, the ANC, pushed with everything it had to amend the South African Constitution to make expropriation without compensation possible and abolish private property rights in this country by amending Section 25 of the Constitution. It stated explicitly that this is what they wanted to do. There was no beating around the bush. It was crystal clear. What happened? Well, what happened was, in a strange twist of fate, private property rights were saved by the hubris of the radical left in this country. Because when the ANC pushed in Parliament for this amendment, the EFF refused to vote with them in Parliament, and it ended up causing the ANC not to have the 2/3 majority that they need to amend the Constitution. And the EFF did not abstain from, or did not make this choice because they support private property rights, because they thought that there was so much power in their hands when it came to the balance of forces that they could push for even more radicalism, that they could push for a total state ownership of all property in this country. And as I said, in a very ironic twist of fate, it was that arrogance, that leftist hubris, that in the end gave a temporary respite and saved private property rights for a while. And why I said for a while is because AfriForum at the time warned that this attempt signals that these attacks against private property rights are not going to end. It is only the first attack, the first attempt. And a few days or a few weeks later, AfriForum's warning was proven correct. And I want to take you through that timeline, because the ANC and its propaganda apparatus can try their very best to try and rewrite history, to try and gaslight the public in South Africa. But unfortunately for them, AfriForum has all the receipts. So let's see exactly from the horse's mouth what was said in 2021 when the attempt to amend the constitution failed. Firstly, in 2021, we hear the following from then Minister of Justice Ronald Lamola, and I quote, "Changing the constitution was just one instrument we could have used," Justice Ronald Lamola said in December 2021. "The matter is now ended. We will now use our simple majority to pass laws that will allow for expropriation without compensation." What laws is Mr. Lamola talking about here? He's talking about the expropriation bill. Next, what was said in 2022 from the president himself, Cyril Ramaphosa? Let's listen. Cyril Ramaphosa tells the media, "The ANC will implement its resolution on the expropriation of land without compensation despite the refusal of other parties in parliament." That's the president of South Africa, 2022. Now let's fast forward to 2023. Let's see what the president, has he changed his tune or is he singing the same tune? In an address by President Cyril Ramaphosa to the ANC at the ANC Manifesto Review Rally, 4th September 2023, let's see what the president says here. And I quote, "We will pass the expropriation bill, which is currently at the NCOP, and will grant the state the authority to expropriate land for public purposes or interests and establish that null or R0 compensation will be deemed just and equitable in accordance with the law." Let's fast forward a little bit more. 2024. It's not just the president and Minister Ronald Lamola that are making these statements. Deputy President Paul Mashatile made sure that the ANC's stance on nil compensation and what they intend with the expropriation bill is crystal clear, to ensure that there's no misunderstanding what the ANC mean with this act. Let's see what Deputy President Mashatile said in 2024. Deputy President Paul Mashatile.
I want you guys to listen to already what he has read. Ne? It is actually so far from what he was rereading. It was the act or the Expropriation Act that they have signed, okay, which tells us that the government, ne? Listen guys, that is why I'm saying sometimes people, I don't know whether maybe it's because of the nervousness or maybe they are scared or anything, I don't know, but which actually that act tells us that the government, according to my thinking and my paraphrasing of it, the government, they can be able to actually use the land, okay, to do anything that is going to be of benefit to the public. That's what it is, right? Now, I do understand that maybe, I don't know, maybe they misunderstood it. But again, he's trying to explain, he's reading what has already started long time ago. And when they say without compensation, right? It means, obviously, if you are going to take a land, for example, if there is a land somewhere, okay, they take it, right? And then there is no one for example, there is no one who stays there. Who are they going to actually pay? No one, because it's an empty space. They just want to take it and actually use it for other benefits to the public. But if there is a land somewhere, okay, which maybe they want to use it for something else, for example, to build a school, and there is somebody who sits there or who stays there, okay, do you think, like guys, I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe whatever and whatever, but do you think that they can just move that person, okay, and say, listen, we are taking the place, you have to go, right? Without maybe doing something for it. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But I don't think that the act actually means that they will just go to any place and then they just, we are taking it. No, guys. I don't think so. I don't think Ramaphosa would have actually agreed on that. You know, because I'm under the impression that he would respect the dignity of the people, because that's what actually Constitution actually also caters. You must respect the dignity of the people, because you can't just take a person out without maybe building them a house somewhere, or maybe whatever you need to do so that that person doesn't sleep on the streets. I don't know. Because according to what I've read on the act, it's all about just taking it gives them the right of just going, and maybe there is something that is important that needs to be built, a road, a bridge, a what. I remember there was a guy in one country, actually, they wanted to build a bridge. And then they told him to say, listen, my guy, you have to move from here because we want to build a bridge. He didn't move. They ended up building a bridge on top of his house. You see? And people, they've got rights. A person can say, no, I'm not moving. But unfortunately, the government, they will tell you, okay, we will just build, okay, on top of your house. It's fine. You can stay there. That's okay. It's your right, okay? But we will build it. Okay, we will build what we want to build because this is going to benefit the people, okay, of the country. You see? Anyway, I just hope that when he goes on, he's going to give us something that is tangible, actually. Because now what he's reading is just the act or the expropriation that was a long time ago was discussed, talked about. It is just that when he signed it, it was just a completion. Why do you think other opposition parties, I don't think, guys, some people think, why do you think opposition parties like your MK, your EFF, all of them, they are complaining about the act? They are complaining because this act, it doesn't say with compensation. They are very clear. People who are thinking and people who can read this thing nicely and understandably without emotions, they can see that this act, it's not an act that says taking property without compensation. It's not that. That's why they are complaining. But anyway, I don't know. People,
Mashatile has reaffirmed the government's commitment to expropriation of land without compensation. But let's go to his direct quotes. In specifically, because there were a lot of people and experts and analysts this week and government officials that desperately tried to gaslight the public into believing that null compensation is not the same as no compensation. But let's see how the ANC understands the idea of null compensation straight from the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile. 2024. Mashatile said he would speak to Ramaphosa about signing the expropriation bill into law. On the wording without compensation and no compensation, Mashatile said the intention was the same and the difference was wording. Here's his direct quote. And I quote, Paul Mashatile, 2024, Deputy President of South Africa. It may well be that you have issues with the wording thereof, but the intention is to achieve exactly that we need to expropriate land without compensation where applicable. Mashatile continues, and I quote, we use the words in the act that we should expropriate land if it is in the public interest. The issue of null compensation,
Did you hear that? Right? We have to use the land where it is applicable. Where it is applicable. It's not like they are just going to take everywhere. Nah. Where it is applicable. In other words, if the government see that if the government wants to build something, all right, that is going to be not a mall, to build a bridge, to build a school, to build a hospital, to build something that's going to benefit people, that is where it is applicable. Okay? It's not like they will go around and just taking land everywhere, because people, they will complain, obviously. They will not be that stupid. Okay? Where it is applicable. And then Mr. Mashatile continues and say, for the public interest. Now, the public interest, obviously, you can say, well, we all know what is going to happen. That's a topic for another day. But when we speak about this act, it's not that hectic. I don't think it's that scary. I think now Mr. Trump, if you can go and talk to Mr. Trump, I think now he will tell you that, I think now I understand. Because I don't understand what is the hype here.
We'll look at. But my sense is null compensation means you don't pay. End quote. Ladies and gentlemen, the ANC is not beating around the bush. They are very clear. They have been very clear what their intentions are with the Expropriation Act and what nil compensation means. AfriForum doesn't need a memory like an elephant. You just need a memory of a 5-year-old to remember what has been said in 2024, in 2021.
I think you are scared, my guy. Now, you guys are scared for nothing, you know? Like I said, guys, in my other video, I saw a video of a white guy who was explaining what actually this means. I don't understand what is going on with Afroforum, you know? Listen, guys, there was a law. This is what I understand this thing. There was a law that was operating in South Africa concerning the same thing, all right? In the past, that was created, that was written down and put into law, all right? Obviously, a law, somewhere, somehow, all right? That law will have to be changed. There is no way that you want to operate with a law that has 100 years, that has 200 years. No, you will want to change it because perhaps some of the things that are in the law are no longer relevant. And especially relevant because now the country is under democracy. It's no longer under apartheid. Maybe there are things that are preventing the majority of people to benefit as a country, not as an individual, as a country, okay? And they need to change that. And when they change it, unfortunately, because your interest is the land, you will be very angry, you will be emotional, and you will think that they want to take your land. And it's not the case. They are just changing the law to put it in a way that is going to be beneficial for people of South Africa. Do you think the ANC is that stupid under a GNU? They know they have lost votes. They will not do anything that is going to jeopardize that. Hi guys, come on. Come on.
In 2022. Now let's broaden the focus even more. Who is this ANC that are making all of these claims? It's the same ANC that still in 2025 hails Robert Mugabe and ZANU-PF as heroes. It's not an ANC that condemns the land grabs and expropriation without compensation that destroyed Zimbabwe. It is an ANC that looks at that undeniable history and says, this is not a problem. This is something that should be applauded. That's the ANC that we're talking about here. And then they act as if they are astonished that people don't believe them when they say they respect private property rights and will respect private property rights. I think James Myburgh, the investigative journalist, summed what happened this week brilliantly. And I want to read his quote because I can't say it any better. James Myburgh wrote this week, and I quote, "The Trump administration's efforts to pressure the South African government to close the door that the Expropriation Act is trying to open represents the first time in living memory that the leader of a Western democracy has sought to check the ANC's kleptocracism."
Okay, listen guys, I don't think there's anything else that we will hear here that is going to puzzle us, you know? Now, he speaks about the Zimbabwe thing, okay? Now, the only argument he gives is that the ANC comes from a place where whatever that happened in Zimbabwe, they said, okay, that it was a good thing. In other words, they supported what they did in Zimbabwe. And then he is coming now saying that, well, because of that, you know, it means the ANC is planning to do. Guys, there is a big difference between Zimbabwe and South Africa in terms of precedents. Cyril Ramaphosa, I don't think, guys, is going to be that reckless. He has done a lot of things that are wrong. We all understand. Some of you don't like him. But guys, I don't think Ramaphosa will just jump and just say, yeah, expropriation land, let's go and take everything. No, he will not do that. And you cannot use the Zimbabwe thing and comparing it to what is happening in South Africa. It's a different story. Okay? People love the Zimbabwe. And if you ask me in the corner, whatever they did, it was for them. Okay? That is why, guys, I said to you, please, ladies and gentlemen, these countries are not the same. Okay? We don't operate the same. Presidents are not the same. Okay? If the other country is doing something that is going to benefit their people, it's their business. Whether you criticize it, you don't criticize it, at the end of the day, that's what they are doing. It's for them. Even if you don't like it, in Burkina Faso, they signed a law where they were against the LGBTQ what. Huh? They signed it and put it into law. It was their business. And if they decide to do it like that, they do it like that. It's going to be like that. There's nothing you can do. If people do whatever in Zimbabwe, they do whatever in Zimbabwe, and they do whatever. It is their business. It's their country. They know what their people want. But it can't take that. And now you say the ANC because of they like that. And then in South Africa, they will do the same. I don't think they will do it like that. As in like harshly and the way they did it. Okay? And it seems like the guys who are actually against this thing of act and who are actually scared, in a way, I think the only thing that they are against is the compensation thing. I don't know. It seems like me, or it sounds like, okay, guys, if you want to take the land, okay, but you have to compensate us. Okay? I think that is the actually problem. You know, but anyway, guys, I didn't want to go on and listen because it seems like there's nothing else. Now he's reading quotes and whatever, so I don't see why these guys they have to panic, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you again, even the act that was signed by the Mr. President, it was not pleasing to the people who want the land without compensation. It was not pleasing. They were complaining, they were crying. On videos are out there. I don't know why you guys then are crying now. I'm confused, to be honest. I'm really confused, okay? I don't know why is the Afroforum crying. I don't know why is the Afroforum problem. Because when I see this act and when people explain the act, it's not that hectic. You know, for you guys, at least for you guys who are owning lands, who are expecting compensation, it's not that hectic. It's just the law that was changed, that has been there, that was changed. And they made it clear where it is applicable. That's one. Two, where it's going to benefit the people. Simple. That's what they said. The message is consistent. Why do you want to put your things there and say, yeah, it makes... guys, come on. Come on, guys. We can do better than that, all right? Please, next time, come on. Don't be so panicking like that. You know, like I said, guys, we have had people, politicians, that you would have thought that actually these politicians, they will chase out the white people. They came out to say, listen, we are not here to chase out anyone. You know? Mr. Zuma said it. Mr. Malema said it. You know, those guys that you'll think that they will just, when they take power, they will just chase Mr. President. Mr. Zuma was a president. He didn't chase you out. You were here, you were enjoying. Some of you, when he became a president, you ran and you came back. Because there is no intention of doing that according to what I'm saying. Okay? I don't know why people are just, guys, come on. Calm down, people. Calm down. Relax. Okay? If they are going to take your land without compensation, your land, it will be very clear. It will be clear straight. You will see it. It will be there. It will be passed. You will see it. Then you can complain. But for now, I think you are just complaining just for the sake of it. Okay? Anyway, I don't know what do you think, guys, about that. That was just my piece. Remember, this is just my opinion based on what they were talking about. You know, when I saw the title, I was like, okay, exposing. But the only thing they exposed is just to expose that the ANC, they show us the paper that says this thing started long time ago. They were speaking about taking the land, the way it's applicable, and without compensation, what, and then what, and then he mentions the fact that, yeah, because the ANC was supporting Zimbabwe in terms of what... Anyway, guys, please, you can like I said, guys, please like the videos. I would appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. We have a fantastic and a wonderful day. This guy, you know. I am out. Sharp.